This is more than news. It's a movement.
This revolution of people taking their countries back.
A turning point. A chance to be part of something greater than yourself. Scan the QR code and stand with Rav. The story isn't over, and neither is your part in it. Step in. Be counted. Be heard. Together, we are Rav.
We will achieve American greatness. And we are just getting started.
Welcome back, everyone. I told you we had a real problem in America with a lack of men in society. We're losing alpha males. And alpha males do a really great job, by the way, of keeping America safe, healthy, and prosperous. So maybe Democrats are figuring this out, but they don't know how to message this at all. This is Democrat Senator Elissa Slotkin.
Democrats, if we are going to deal with the onslaught from the White House, need to A, have a plan, and B, get a little more alpha energy into our leadership. Okay, a little more alpha energy.
More alpha energy. Yeah, that's what you need. I mean, does anyone take them seriously? I do not. You know, by the way, I'm working on a course called The Maverick Mindset that gets all into how you have alpha energy and succeed at every level. I'll let you know when that course is finished. But that's how we take back our country. She will not be an instructor in the Stinchfield Maverick Mindset course. I promise you that. Stinchfield's Army rolls. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
And it is live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Wednesday night, November 19th. Glad you're in, everybody. Real America's Voice all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Whether you're watching or listening, glad you're in. On a Wednesday night, lots to do. News, sports, we'll cover it all. Diaper diplomacy back tonight as well. Slick Rick is here. He's going to do the sports. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Big day in sports today. What's going on? Any big stories?
A couple of big stories. Well, we had a passing in Major League Baseball. We'll get to that. The great Randy Jones passed away today. We also have the Chiefs' heiress is coming out. She says we definitely should do 2 different Super Bowls as well. You heard about that?
All right, very good.
A couple of good stories. Pope Leo.
All right. Well, I know she's all in on the halftime. TPUSA is doing maybe a possible halftime show. Yeah. I don't know where we are with that, but we'll get to that in sports. We've got a lot of news to cover.
Oh, my goodness.
Rick Delgado and Paul Nolan here going to cover it. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am well.
How was your day today?
Very good. I had a lot to get done, which was nice, and got it all done. And now I'm here. I'm ready for news.
Okay.
And the next poll in my life.
No weed torching, right?
No weed torching.
Okay, good. Right,
any face cream updates?
Yeah. Actually, if you must know, yes.
No, we don't want to know.
No.
The poll is up. The LFS6B Rick Delgado poll to answer question of the night is up on our X at LFS6B, and it's a good one tonight. I expect well over 2,000 votes before 10 o'clock tonight. So go to X right now at LFS6B. It is up, and it's a good one. A lot of choices. So, Mr. Nolan, how are you?
I'm good. And while you're on X, maybe I can get a follow. I'm almost 4,000. I'm kind of like a grown-up now. But very nice day today for me. I got to listen to a 4-hour podcast of Mike Benz. And because I drove to Great Neck, but didn't make it to Great Neck because there was an accident on the LIE. So I had to veer off after an hour and 14 minutes. I was like, I've had enough. Turned around, I ended up coming out to CI, looked at a horse farm in your neck of the woods, right. And then I had to go all the way up to Coram for a wake, unfortunately. Then I had to drive back to Massapequa and then back here. So I had enough time to burn $76 worth of gas, and I listened to a full 4 hours of Mike Benz blowing my brain away with endless facts, stats, receipts, and accusations. It was
good old Long Island roads.
It was a good day for the most part for me.
All right, very good. Paul's going to give us a recap of that Mike Benz video. I know you were pretty into it, so Paul has a full recap of what he was talking about. We'll do news, sports. We'll get to all of it, but right now, let's do tonight's first word. Well, today marks the anniversary of one of the greatest 2-minute speeches in human history, Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, delivered this very day in 1863, 7 years ago. That's how Lincoln started it, reaching all the way back to 1776 to the Declaration, to the moment our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty. Notice the language, folks, biblical, patriarchal, deliberate. He's not just giving a history lesson. He's reminding us that America was born, not manufactured, conceived, brought forth. This wasn't some committee report from a bunch of bureaucrats in Brussels. This was a birth. And right there at the dedication of a cemetery with the blood of Gettysburg still fresh in the Pennsylvania soil, Lincoln did something radical. He took Jefferson's self-evident truth that all men are created equal, something you could prove with a syllogism and a geometry book, and he turned it into a proposition. Not a fact stamped on the universe like the Pythagorean theorem that's true whether you like it or not. No, Lincoln said, equality is a proposition, quote, to which the nation was conceived and dedicated, end quote. And now we're in a great civil war testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. In other words, equality isn't something you just declare on a piece of parchment and then go have tea. It's something you have to fight for, bleed for, die for, and most importantly, live for. It has to survive the trial by fire. Lincoln gave no guarantees. He basically looked America in the eye and said, this thing we believe about human equality, well, it's on us now. We either make it true or it dies right here on these fields. And listen to how many times he hammers that home in the speech. He says, dedicate, dedicated, dedicate, consecrate, devotion, we, over and over. We cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. It is rather for us, the living, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work. This isn't the speech of a man defending a contract between states. This is the speech of a man forging a people. That's the genius, folks. Before Gettysburg, the United States was still mostly spoken of in the plural. The United States are. After Lincoln, it became singular. The United States is one nation, one people, indivisible, with a common moral purpose. He didn't even use the word democracy once. But he gave us the most soaring definition we've ever had. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. And he promised a new birth of freedom. Freedom purified in the furnace of war. Freedom finally extended to every human being created in the image of God, regardless of the color of their skin. Now, the history professors will tell you the speech bombed at the time. The Chicago Times sneered that the president insulted the fallen with his silly, flat, dishwatery utterances. But you know what? The American people, well, they figured it out. By the 1890s, school kids were memorizing it. By 1922, those words were carved in stone on the Lincoln Memorial like the Ten Commandments. During World War II, during the Cold War, during the Civil Rights Movement, Americans kept coming back to Gettysburg because Lincoln gave us something bigger than a country. He gave us a mission, and that mission is still ours. That proposition is still on trial. Every time the left tries to replace equality of opportunity with equality of outcome, every time bureaucrats in Washington think they know better than you how to run your life, every time some America Last globalist tells us our best days are behind us, every single time we have the right and the duty to point those Pennsylvania fields and say, no, it is for us, the living, to be dedicated here to the great task remaining before us. Because if that proposition ever perishes from the earth, folks, the light goes out all over the world. 407 years from 1776 brought us to 1863. Another 162 years have brought us to right now. And I say, let the new birth of freedom keep on being born in every generation until that government of the people, by the people, for the people, not only shall not perish from the earth, it shall cover the earth. Lincoln's speech was over before it began, yet in 272 words, he accomplished nothing less than the creation of American democracy. God bless Abraham Lincoln. God bless those who fought at Gettysburg. And God bless the United States of America. And that's tonight's first word.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't know how
That's
many
done.
people are talking about the anniversary of the Gettysburg Address, but I thought it was important to address it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was today.
Yeah.
I think the
idea.
left
That.
addressed it as the
Wow.
colonizer.
19th, huh? Wow.
The colonizers.
What'd you say?
The left is calling it the colonizers' Gettysburg Address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Patriarch.
8 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. And I just, I actually went back, and it's only 272 words. I actually read it. When you read it, you really can apply
It's it today.
to today. And some of the things we've talked about all week, even last night, our opening about Western civilization and whether it survives, and the left's conquest, through taking over the Democratic Party. We talked about a lot about we're seeing these Marxist jihadists elected in 41 elections, or was it 21?
Like I think it was 34.
Something like that, some
and then there was
enormous number.
Yeah.
School boards and stuff.
Far
Yeah.
too many. Far too many.
And when you read those 272 words, you can just clearly listen to it, read it, and then translate it into today and what is going on.
Absolutely.
And it is still as applicable to what is going on in the Democrat Party and what they're trying to do as it's ever been.
Yeah, because in a way, it's kind of like another civil war. It's not as violent, though the left and the Democrats are very violent, as we've seen from their representatives. But it's a war on our culture, our way of life, and for the soul of this country.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's a lot of what that podcast of Mike Benz was about. It was really about how the statecraft, how the entire institution of corporate dominance really can shape everybody's hearts and minds, and they can do it in a totally different fashion. Without tanks, without guns, they can just do it by just engineering your brain and letting the algorithm obliterate you. And it's happening on a global basis. And everywhere you see populism rise, everywhere you see unity rise, you see people getting together. Hey, they get split down the middle. And this is what divide and conquer is now coming to us in a very powerful digital form.
The LFS6B Delgado poll to answer question of the night is available on X. Go to X at LFS6B on X. There's four choices tonight in tonight's question.
Oh.
We already have 403 votes, so we're cranking.
Wow!
So swinging
First 10
to
minutes.
X.
Let's crank this over 2,000 by 10 o'clock. Everybody go over to our X right now and vote. This is a big one tonight.
Jump on that poll.
And jump on that poll.
Yep.
And don't be sliding around on it. Make a decision and just let's get right to it.
How long ago was this?
Last month.
That was Friday night after the warehouse.
That was in Huntington after.
I wonder why he runs out of there.
Yeah. 11 past the hour, live from Studio 6B.
Same jeans, same sneakers 20 years ago.
So are you guys aware? We talked about Plaskett last night.
Yes.
And how...
well, as much as we could till you blew her up.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because I don't want to hear from her.
Like 3 words.
Yeah. We don't want to hear from her. But now, do you know the story of why the censure didn't pass? Did you hear this? What the Republicans did, this deal they cut, supposedly?
No. What was the deal?
So...
Because I know it was 3 or 4.
Supposedly,
there was 3 or 4 that didn't vote. There was 3 or 4 that went with the Democrats, and something. So what was the deal?
So Anna Paulina has been tweeting about this, and I've been trying to figure this out. So this guy, Corey Mills from Florida, I guess is some kind of sleazeball. And so he was supposed to come up for censure. I might not, this is a little rough description. I don't have every fact here possibly right, but I believe the Republicans cut a deal so that he didn't go up for censure and some investigation that was going to go to the House Ethics Committee, I think it was.
Okay.
And in exchange, the Republicans decided that they wouldn't censure Plaskett if the Democrats decided not to censure Mills and not send this, I don't know what you want to call it, case or investigation or whatever, to the Ethics Committee. So just talk about the swamp protecting its own.
Yeah. There you go. From both sides. No, I didn't know about that.
You should look up the details, because there's some things out today on this Mills guy. And I don't really care what people do in their private life most of the time, but man, oh man.
But I thought his was a while ago. I don't know why it's coming up now.
To YouTube we go. Chris Parman, 2080 in the YouTube says, Damon, I don't have a damn X account, so get off my back.
No, what? What did he say?
Chris Parman, he says, Damon, I don't have a damn X account. Get
you
off
don't
my
need
back.
one.
Okay.
I don't think you need one.
All right, so the Corey Mills
I think you could still get it to it publicly.
And Tavares 3D
maybe.
says, Delgado, I wish I was even able to do that.
All right, Aaron, what am I looking at? Okay. Okay. I guess no one knew about this.
We were going to.
We're going live.
So is there? Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, I mean, the word dip in and out is kind of leaves it open for a lot of interpretation. Do we have like a set? Nothing. Huh? Okay.
Chat, live in the chat. There's some things going on behind the scenes.
We got some important business going on. Impotent.
It's breaking.
Not impotent.
No, that would be bad.
Let's leave that alone.
If I'm going to be impotent, I'm going to dress impotent.
Milan 43 in the Rumble rant, Damon, wants to know that app, that food app that your wife was.
Oh,
yeah. Yuka.
How's it spelled?
You can forget about that. You can forget about this.
You can't eat that. You can't eat that.
No, you can forget about it.
Milan 43.
Yeah, you can forget about it.
Yuka.
Too many calories. You
I
can
don't know how
forget
it's
it.
spelled. I think it's Y-U-K-A. Is that it?
It could be Y-U-C-A too.
You scan it and the app says, no, this doesn't taste like dry grass. You can't eat it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Ordinary passenger. Bill of Rights. Milan 43 says thanks. I got Patriot 63.
Is that Harry on the hallway?
Harry?
All right, live from Studio 6B, 17 past the hour on a Wednesday night, November 19th. Real America's Voice all across the country. 103.9 LI News Radio. Suffolk County, Long Island, glad you're in. Slick Rick's going to do some sports. Delgado's going to do some news. Paul Nolan's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway just walked into the studio, so he's not on the highway now. He's standing in front of us.
Harry in the hallway.
I'm assuming he's going to try to annoy us here in the next 5-10 minutes, but maybe
Harry
not.
never.
Maybe we'll get lucky and he will not. The LFSXP Delgado poll dancer question of the night is available on our X right now. Go there at LFSXP. We have a 836 votes already in the first 17 minutes of the show, so let's get that over 2,000. But we have a clear front runner in the answer to the question, which I guess we could put up now so people can see it, Aaron. The LFSXP Delgado poll dancer question of the night is the 2028 Democratic presidential nominee will be, and you have 4 choices there, Michelle, Booty Juice, Newsome, and Cackling Kamala. Right now, Newsome is far and away in the lead at 82.5%.
That's great.
Booty Juice coming in second at 8.1%, and Michelle and Cackling Kamala tied at 4.7%.
The guy who obliterated the most perfect state in the union, like it's got everything, mountains and oceans and crops, and 70% of our just destroyed a nation, just destroyed a fantastic state. He's going to run. That's the guy we got to worry about.
We're going to California America, I guess. At least that's what we're worried about now. So
that's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy. All
right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by, well, wait a second. Did you, Aaron, I'm sorry, who took the stage? Okay, so TPUSA has an event tonight, and it's called the Mission We Carry Forward, and it features Riley Gaines and Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And the governor has just taken the stage. Let's dip in for a second and listen to what the subject matter here is, if we can.
Are you really still the youngest governor in the country? I said, George, as a matter of fact, I am. And he looked at me and he goes, those other guys must be really old. But that's okay. You know, my kids, while they keep me humble, they also serve as a permanent reminder of everything that is important in this country. They serve as a permanent reminder at what's at stake. And that's why it's so important that each one of you have shown up here tonight, because we need people who understand what's at stake, people who are willing to stand up for our values, who are willing to be unapologetic about what they believe and why they believe it. And there are very few people in this country who are more articulate and who are more forceful in defending our values than Riley Gaines. And that's why I'm so glad that she's here in Arkansas. As I mentioned, my daughter Scarlett is here with me tonight, and I love the fact that my daughter will get to hear Riley. One of the things I love most about her is she is somebody who defends and fights for the rights of women. I ask all the time, where are all the feminists? Because they seem to have forgotten what they started fighting for, and that was the rights for women to be individuals, to have opportunity. Let me tell you who hasn't forgotten that is Riley Gaines. Who else hasn't forgotten that is Donald Trump. Thankfully, we have a president now in the White House who understands and is willing to not just fight for women, but fight for every single American. And he does so in a way that is unapologetic and is forceful. And that's why it is so important that we continue to do our part, because despite the fact he is doing an incredible job and is shaking things up and changing Washington and our entire global landscape, he can't do it alone. He needs people standing with him, fighting with him, and that's why what you're doing and what this organization is all about is so critically important. I'm proud of the fact that I have had the chance to be a part of this organization for a long time, to speak at many of their events, but what really matters is not the big events, it's the small moments. And each one of you have a sphere of influence. You have friends, you have people that you come in contact with on a daily basis. You don't have to be on a big stage to have your voice be heard. But we need each and every one of you engaging and participating and standing with us and fighting for those values. So thank you for showing up here tonight. Thank you for your incredible support. And I know that you are going to be encouraged, inspired, and motivated to continue fighting, not just for our great state, but for our great country, by my good friend who is a mom to a 7-week-old. I can't tell you how incredible it is that she's here after having a baby only 7 weeks ago. But that is such just an incredible thing. It's one of the reasons I respect
Aaron,
her so
let's
much.
pull off of this. We'll get
and one
back
of the reasons I
I'm
wanted to
assuming
make
she's
sure
gonna
I was here.
introduce Riley Gaines here in a second. We'll get back to that and listen to a little bit of what Riley's talking about. I'm sure it's a lot about family and stuff like that. I want to give a shout out to our great friends over at AMAC, Dave and Rebecca, who are, I think, watching the show tonight. And let's be thankful that they're watching tonight.
Not last night.
Not last night.
As we learned last night that Vin, who is a member of AMAC on this show, doesn't even know what his membership gets him, how good it is.
Yeah.
As well, I mean, I can't.
Well,
even
Wow. At least they got spared from last night.
His chauffeur Chauncey knows, though, right? His chauffeur drives him around, and his
Well, no, that's not the case. No, that's not the case. Vin has an AMAC membership and had a flat tire and didn't even realize that. Well, AMAC offers that service as being a member, and Vin. Well, I can't even explain what he did.
AMAC takes away AARP and AAA, right? If they do, they're everything rolled into one.
Yeah, they
It's not a bad deal.
That's a good deal. That's the best thing that's probably happened to this country in a long time.
And they don't beat you over the head with like liberal guilt.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I can't even look at it.
They actually believe in the things that you actually believe in. So you're actually spending
common
money
sense?
yeah, that too. Common sense. Exactly. So, all right, let's do some quick sports and news, and we'll get back to what's going on at the Turning Point event. Tara Slick Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. What's going on?
Hey, you know, I love to see Riley Gaines. I love to hear what she has to say. She's been such a great advocate for sports and for keeping men out of women's sports. And Randy Jones, Cy Young Award winner. Some sad news earlier today. The Padres legend passed away at the age of 75. Ryan Morick of Fox News. Some of us older guys will remember the great Randy Jones, the southpaw who won the National League Cy Young Award in 1976. He actually passed away yesterday at the age of 75. Jones made his MLB debut with the San Diego Padres in 1973 and impressed as a rookie with a 3.16 ERA in 20 appearances, 19 of them starts. After going 8-22 in his second season, he bounced back with an NL-leading 2.24 ERA in 75, earning his first All-Star nod and finishing second in the Cy Young Award vote behind the great Tom Seaver, of course. The following season, he racked up an MLB 315 and a half innings, and National League had a higher ERA, and then nobody had a higher ERA than 2.74, and 25 complete games, 22 wins, led the majors. And, well, he did beat out the great Jerry Kuzman, another Met, right? And Don Sutton finished third and Carlton fourth. So he had a great career, no question about it. San Diego Padre, many years. His number 35 was retired back in 1997. So, you know, he did something when you did that. And he was in the team's Hall of Fame class as well. He is widely credited with putting the expansion franchise on the map as the team struggled mightily throughout his tenure, but he provided a spark in dark days. He was also one of the first free agents in baseball. So really an epic player. Certainly out west in San Diego, they will remember him. I remember him because I was a big baseball fan back in the mid-'70s because my Reds were actually winning back then. In fact, they won the World Series that year.
Is this this segment's brought to us by Bazooka Gum?
Bazooka Gum, baby. Topps cards. And Chiefs heiress Gracie Hunt supports alternate Super Bowl halftime show over Bad Bunny, Big D. And that's a big name coming out there because there's a good chance her team may actually be in the Super Bowl. And they were last year. Won a Todd Houston, a Breitbart.
Well, there's no chance of that.
Oh, the Chiefs?
At 5-5, they're almost eliminated.
They could still come back. Sure,
No,
the AL is wide open. They're still in the wild card hunt. AL's wide
No
open.
chance.
Big D. And
I'll put a trip to the Sphere on it.
the AFC,
second one you won't pay for?
AFC conference is wide open. Oh God, yeah.
You know, he's never going to pay.
Yeah,
he's never.
Just like
going
the
to pay.
spheres of influence that the governor was talking about just before. Yeah.
26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back. News coming up. Oh, yeah, we put that in last night.
Yeah. Who's that? Hello?
Shout out, I'm here with you guys now.
All right, we're still on.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Dave, is there anything you want me to say? I can do a story for you here.
I know.
All right, we'll just.
What about the chat, Rick?
We'll just go with that for a little bit.
I forget our friends in the chat.
I don't know
of doing
what kind of balance I'm supposed to
infomercials.
Chat are you in? I'm in the YouTubes.
I'm in the Rumble.
Is this thing like a quick little local thing? Right.
Is everybody in the poll? Did everybody do the pollster? Go to our X. Live from LFS 6B.
When are you coming to visit us again?
Yeah, they want to know when you're coming back on set.
Oh, Chris Allen coming in hot. Damon doesn't pay his debts, if people were wondering, in the YouTube. Whoa,
In the
Chris
YouTube.
Allen.
That's a vicious lie.
Coming in strong.
That is a vicious version of the
lie.
truth.
What?
On this Friday?
That's
okay,
the truth.
Perfect. So,
We only tell the truth.
Yeah. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help us, Harry.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Brother.
Howdy in the Twix.
What do you get, a free dinner out of that?
Twixers,
The guy with 3 martinis walking through the cameras is not a
Not a good look.
Howdy. Jolene Moore says, hello, Damon. Kit Kat welcomes all the newbies to the Twix chat.
See, this is the problem.
Remember,
Harry.
like and share the show.
Dave Syverson still coming up with slogans for me running.
The rule with martinis.
Oh, for you running for office?
Martinis
For running
like
for
boobies.
Senate in New York,
One's not
yes.
enough and 3's too many.
Yeah. KC58, you lost a bet, Damon. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, what? Hey, that should be the poll for tomorrow night.
Yes.
Did Damon win or lose the bet?
Win or lose that bet?
There's a poll.
That's a poll.
That will
There's
never-
a poll for
that
it.
will never be a poll.
That's a poll.
And if
No
you
way.
lose the
Yeah.
bet, you have to jump on the poll.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
a
I'll
poll.
tell you what. If
We got 1,000 votes
we
already.
get
Go ahead.
if we get over 3,000 votes.
we'll do a poll.
I mean, no, seriously. Let me ask
It's
you
like
something.
impending danger over here, Henry.
Could you? What do you do? Are you out of your mind?
Harry has a couple drinks
What are
and he
you
gets
doing?
aroused.
He's a misogynist.
He becomes. he
Man,
gets all, he
I don't
gets
know
all
where this
touchy.
crap comes from.
Look at him. He gets all touchy.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. I got Harry. Harry's on the set, walking around, molesting me.
Yeah, manhandling.
Coming over and putting his hands on my shoulders and giving me a massage, like.
I told you he's a misogynist, Harry.
God.
He's doing a Jeffrey Epstein impersonation.
Yeah.
Oh, is he on the list?
Let's go live out to Riley Gaines, who's speaking at the TPUSA event. Aaron, let's put Riley on, see what she's talking about.
Either of us. We had an immigration lawyer. He tells us, look, you'll apply for your green card. It'll take 6 months, 8 months max. No big deal. We do that. We wait 6 months. We wait a year. We wait a year and a half, 2 years, 2.5 years. We had heard nothing from USCIS or Immigration Services under the previous administration. And so that's when we began to reach out, to inquire, what's the holdup? Bear in mind, he was here legally the entire time. I've got all these people who comment on social media saying that, I'm harboring an illegal alien or whatever. Suddenly, I guess they're in favor of mass deportations. He's here legally the entire time. It would be easier for them if they said they knew nothing about our legal immigration system and moved on with their day. But nonetheless, we reach out, we inquire. What's the holdup? Every agency, every department, no one could point us in the right direction. Until finally, we get a letter to our house that says in big, bold letters, this was in January of this year, so right before President Trump was inaugurated. It said, request for evidence. And so we open the letter, we read it, it says, sorry, we can't give you your green card because your medical record is not complete. And what was missing from my husband's medical record in the year 2025? The ineffective, under-researched COVID vaccine. That's why they weren't willing to give him his green card, which I'm so grateful to have a husband who was just unwilling to compromise in that way, and very grateful that President Trump won. He was sworn in January. Give it 24 hours before you pick up the phone. Hey, did you know this mandate that I would deem illegal is still in place nationwide? He said, no, give me 2 hours. And literally within 2 hours, It was not a text or a call. I got one of those like Fox News breaking alerts, and it said, President Trump vacates nationwide mandate requiring legal immigrants to get the COVID vaccine, which I'm certain that all the people crossing the border illegally had that vaccine, by the way. So a few months ago, really not long ago, we got this little green card in the mail. I don't know why I didn't think it was a green card. Spoiler alert, it's literally a green card. And so it was kind of funny because I decided we would, we'll celebrate this. So I went to Publix, which is like our grocery store. They have a bakery at the back. I go back to the cake decorator and I'm like, look, can you make a cake that says congrats on not getting deported? And the cake decorator, like, he looks like he's seen a ghost. Like, he's staring at me and he's like, well, I need to go talk to my boss in the back really quick. And he goes back there and he comes back and he says, I can do it. Forgot the R in congrats. And so it definitely said congrats on not getting deported. But nonetheless, we celebrated. I could speak to the wins and the success and the victories that we have seen the past year. Gosh, it's only been a year for the rest of my allotted time. But I guess I just mentioned those to say I'm not tired of winning. And we've got 3 more years. So really great news there. I'll just give you a very brief background on myself, how I have found myself here, standing behind this podium speaking to you guys. I was an athlete at the University of Kentucky, which lifelong and very proud Tennessean, so didn't know I was going to go, didn't really want to go to the University of Kentucky, but I'm biased. The SEC is in fact the best conference. I knew I was going to say somewhere in the SEC. Took a couple trips, took a trip to UK, and I fell in love with the team and the campus and the resources that they poured into us outside of even just athletics, into our academics, into our service, both things that really mattered to me.
All right, Aaron, that's good.
So on a whim, committed there.
We'll catch a little more Riley Gaines here throughout the night. There's some breaking news.
Yeah.
Statement out from, okay, I'll let you cover it. Rick Delgado's got it.
Which one do you want to go with? There's a couple stories. I'm assuming you're talking about the Epstein files.
Yeah.
To go public after President Trump signs a law releasing all the records. According to this story, breaking on Fox News is where I found it. President Trump, just this evening, just a little while ago, said he signed legislation greenlighting the Justice Department to release the files related to the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Trump's ties to Epstein have faced increased attention, blah, blah, blah. Sunday, Trump announced he was backing the releasing of the documents and stated he had nothing to hide. So breaking news, President Trump said as soon as it reaches his desk, he will sign it. And, well, we saw how it got expedited yesterday between the House and the Senate. And now today he's made it a reality. He is signed off on getting these things released. Now, of course, there's a caveat in there. Damon, you were talking about that yesterday, the 30 days. Now that the Justice Department has to go through and, go through and start figuring out what they can and can't release, what won't be black marked out.
I hope not.
So we'll find out, I guess, in about 30 days what exactly is going to be released. Do you want to read his Truth Social post?
Well, I mean, he spends the last third of it talking about the great stuff they've done and not to get distracted. But he basically says Jeffrey Epstein, who was charged by the Trump Justice Department in 2019, not by the Democrats, was a lifelong Democrat, donated thousands of dollars to Democrat politicians, and was deeply associated with many well-known Democrats as Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who just resigned from the many boards, including Harvard, sleazebag political activist Reid Hoffman, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, many more. Perhaps the truth about these Democrats and their association with Jeffrey Epstein will soon to be revealed because I have just signed the bill to release the Epstein files.
Yeah.
And it goes from there. And again, he spends the last kind of third of it saying he wants Republicans not to get distracted. Again, from the big, beautiful bill, strong borders, no women, sports, or transgender for everybody, victories, including the big, beautiful tax cut bill, strong borders, no men and women's sports, transgender for everyone, ending DEI, stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, lowering prices, biggest tax regulation cuts in history, ending 8 wars, rebuilding our military, knocking out Iran's nuclear capabilities, getting trillions of dollars invested in the U.S., creating the hottest country anywhere in the world. So
So winning.
What we've been hearing from him, obviously, on the stump and when he's been speaking, like he did today at these events. So that's pretty much the truth he put out tonight on that.
Yeah.
So what are the other stories you're saying?
The other breaking news has to do with more Epstein stuff. Do you want to just jump into it? I've got a couple things we can talk about. Okay, because again, last night we talked about this as they tried to link this Epstein stuff to Trump. The boomerang effect is going to be glorious because we've already seen, like I said, the drip started with Stacey Plaskett. It then went to Larry Summers over at Harvard.
To Jeffries.
Right. And then Hakeem Jeffries. Tonight there's another person who's been exposed that I'll jump into as well. Her name, you may know it, you may not. She's kind of an interesting character in this whole thing. Her name is Kathleen Rumler. Have you heard of this name? Days after her name appeared in a tranche of newly released Jeffrey Epstein emails, Goldman Sachs General Counsel, I should say, Kathleen Rumler, sent a company-wide message to her own employees that many found tone deaf. Check this out. She wrote that what and how you communicate reflects on you and the reputation of the firm in a Tuesday memo reminding staffers to complete mandatory training, including a module on communications at Goldman Sachs. The message was not well received by employees, Damon, who are disturbed that the firm has yet to even acknowledge that their top legal officer has questionable judgment when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein. The fact that they put her name on this in last week's email, one insider said, is beyond offensive. Sources also said many employees have left Rumler's team over the last few months frustrated as the perception of the ongoing scandal is being swept under the rug. And that was included in a September report in the Wall Street Journal claimed she was close to Epstein and once even named an executor of his estate. Now, why is her name important? Well, Kathleen Rumler has an interesting backstory there, Damon. Who is she? Well, she has an interesting previous boss known as President Barack Hussein Obama. She was his lead counsel in the White House between the years of 2011 and 2014, and it was this email exchange that just got recently exposed in 2014, in September of 2014, with Jeffrey Epstein about her boss, about some parties, about some stuff that's going on. There's a copy of the email. The people that are involved, again, you're starting to see this boomerang effect, and you're looking for a bigger name, somebody who's attached to President Barack Hussein Obama during that time. She left his office about a month after this latest email that you see up on your screen, a direct back and forth with Jeffrey Epstein talking about girls. He talks about his old habits. He talks about some very powerful people that he's going to be invited to hang out with. If she wants to join them. He's talking about Peter Thiel, Bill Gates, ex-CIA Director William Burns, ex-UK Prime Minister Gordon Brown, one of the sultans from Dubai, just to name a few. And then in 2023, we learned Jeffrey Epstein was involved in establishing a client relationship between former White House counsel Kathleen Rumler and J.P. Morgan Chase in February of 2019, just 4 months before he was arrested on federal child sex trafficking charges. So you can see this is starting to boomerang all around different parts of the Democratic world, including Goldman Sachs. So again, they're a little embarrassed that they have this woman as their lead counsel. Now, the other part of this story, the other breaking news, comes from Larry Summers. This I was going to cover a little bit later, but let's just jump into it. Here's Larry Summers. We talked about this last night. He was going to stay on. He was stepping away from a bunch of things, but stay on at Harvard and teach his classes. Here he is, cut number 3, talking to his class earlier today about staying on and what they may have seen in the news. Cut 3.
Some of you will have seen my statement of regret, expressing my shame with respect to what I did in communication with Mr. Epstein, and that I've said that I'm going to step back from public activity for a time, but I think it's very important to fulfill my teaching obligations. And so, with your permission, we're going to go forward and talk about the material in the class.
Yeah, he's going to talk about the material to himself because now it just came out 15 minutes ago. Larry Summers is going to leave Harvard University as they investigate the ties to Jeffrey Epstein. He announced it Wednesday night, tonight, that he's going to step away from his teaching duties while the school investigates his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sure they'll do a thorough investigation as to why Jeffrey Epstein actually had an office at Harvard as well, but I'm sure they'll get around to that. Summers, the former Treasury Secretary and ex-president of Harvard, also plans to go on leave from the Center of Business and Government over at Harvard at the Harvard Kennedy School, and is also stepping down from many boards he was attached to. So a lot of boomerang still going on, and more coming out from Epstein.
Larry's stepping away from everything.
Yes.
Right
By
now.
the way,
Summer vacation.
There are plenty of other incestuous connections in this case, too, especially in the Attorney General's office. Leon Black and the billionaire, how much money he paid Epstein. This is crazy.
Yep.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Sounds like old Larry isn't stepping away, he's running away. It's more like it is right.
If you haven't yet voted in the LFS6B Delgado poll to answer question of the night, go over to X at LFS6B on X, x.com/LFS6B. That's a quick way to get there. Pinned at the top of our feed is the poll. We have 1,200 votes so far. We need to get that to 2,000. The 2028 Democratic presidential nominee will be blank. And you have four choices.
Gene Rayburn.
Gene Rayburn. It'll be a young fella named Gerald R. Ford.
Really?
No, it's going to be my boy Gavin.
Gavin
Nuisance. Unbelievable. That's the best they got.
Mondami's going to the Oval Office on Friday.
Oh,
Yep.
God. Really?
Yep.
He's already backtracked on the police responding to domestic violence things.
Should be a wild Friday night show.
The New York police put out a public service announcement how to put on a hijab today. The New York police. That's right. Cop in full New York City police regalia put on his, she put on her hijab. So that's good. At least we have that working.
Who put that out?
So instead of on the job, she's on the hijab. Paul,
how to wear your hijab.
You're kidding.
Instead of she's not on the job, she's on the hijab. Great.
Yeah, so when they arrest you for wearing it improperly, then they'll know what to look for.
It's just
This is weird, wacky stuff.
You're weird and wacky.
Weird and wacky.
You're
stuff.
weird and wacky.
This is weird and
You're weird. I keep forgetting to ask Ben why he says 16. They're 18.
well, he's always short on a few spares. That's why.
I guess so.
there's no such thing as a 16-wheeler.
I know, but he keeps saying it.
There's 14-wheelers. There's 18-wheelers.
Right, but there's no 16 wheels. I guess if you're Vin.
What did
Maybe
he
he's
say?
watching.
After my old man
Every time he talks about the tractor trailers, illegals drive, he says, these 16-wheelers come blowing past you.
That's what
I don't think he's ever driven on a road before. They're 18.
That's what you get living in Manhasset.
See, I don't listen. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Things got heated in the Oval Office yesterday. No more questions for you. That is the basis of today's diaper diplomacy. Roll it, Aaron.
Nice.
Why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who is highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psyched you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton. Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman here. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get you not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me. But he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax, and ABC's your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something, Beth.
So why not just sign it?
I think the license should be taken away from ABC because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump, and then Trump wins the election in a landslide, that means obviously your news is not credible, and you're not credible as a reporter. So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein, who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep of the fund guy was with him all the time. What's his name? Reid Hoffman. I don't know Reid Hoffman, but I know he spends a lot of money on the radical left. Reid Hoffman, in my opinion, should be under investigation. He's a sleazebag. And those are the people, but they don't get any press, they don't get any news, and you're not after the radical left because you're a radical left network. But I think the way you ask a question with the anger and the meanness is terrible. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you.
Oh, man.
Oh.
No more questions
for you.
That's first things first. Without the baby diplomacy, that's Trump at his best right there.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that. That's the first I heard it.
Yeah.
The Saudi prince's face, like all excited watching him rip into him.
The Bill Clinton was priceless. They nailed that one.
Yeah.
Oh my, the hairdo.
Bill Clinton, baby.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 10 minutes to the hour. Let's do some news with Paul Nolan. Mr. Nolan, what's going on?
So, you can see in the rundown here, I have a similar story to what Delgado had just been talking about, and I'll just go through it briefly, but this is from Just the News. Desperate to tie President Trump to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, the Democrats are ignoring their own ties to in the newly published documents of the deceased sex offender. And in one of the 20,000 obtained documents, the House Oversight Committee shows that the consulting firm working now for House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, shortly after he was elected in Congress in 2012, was soliciting the donation. So we kind of touched on it. I don't want to belabor it. I know we're really way behind the mark on the clock, but I kind of want to touch on this Larry Summers thing. We'll talk about another big-time player here, and this is from Breitbart. Former Harvard president Larry Summers, also known as Bill Clinton's Secretary of the Treasury, has stepped down, obviously. We went through that. But he's so powerful with OpenAI. He's been connected to the Goldman Sachs issue, and included in that, he's also connected to Leon Black, who's a billionaire who gave Epstein over $150 million. And not just that, they were connected to the Goldman Sachs issues that they had down in the U.S. Virgin Islands where they had sued them. And I think one of the really concerning things at this point right now is that, and part of the bigger picture of how crazy this is, now the Southern District of New York, the Attorney General, Jay Clayton, he was also on the board of Apollo Global. He was the vice chairman of Leon Black's company. And, he's now going to be fully involved in the Epstein case. And I just feel like there's another conflict of interest here. And it's just everything is so interwoven. It's too much to even follow at some points. It's like, as George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. And I just think that to get us back on track, I know we didn't have a ton of time here for this because we've been belaboring it, but I can't believe I just can't believe how many Democrats were fighting for this now and how the entire globalist party is busted.
Oh, yeah. And that was something I talked about, and I've mentioned it a bunch of times. I think this was a total rope-a-dope by Trump, saying, oh, it's a hoax, it has nothing to do with me. And I understand now what he meant, that it wasn't about him, but they kept making it about him. It's just a hoax that he's involved in that level. But it came off as, no, I don't know what you're talking about. It's crazy. And that made the Democrats think, oh, we got him now. Let's chase him down on this. And he got them to demand it. So he just went, okay, here you go, knowing full well that, he was the whistleblower back in 2009.
Well, when we talked about this when it first came out, we were like, what's happening to MAGA? We were going crazy. And the one thing we all agreed upon was this has to be him baiting them in.
Right.
But
and they took it. They took the bait.
They can't control themselves.
No, they can't. They just saw red meat. They just said, "Oh my God, we got him."
They saw nicely toasted soy burgers.
Right. And you know what was funny over the weekend? The phrase "the walls are closing in" was starting to pop back up on the Democrats again. They started saying it about Trump. I was like, you got to be kidding me! They're saying it again.
I know.
The walls are closing in on Trump and Epstein. It was amazing, hilarious.
Yeah, I really want to see where this thing goes, and I'd like to see everything unredacted. But I do feel as though he wore a lot of mud in this thing, so he better come out squeaky clean on the other side, based on the fact that the left-wing media went berserko globally, that he was hiding it. And let's be honest, though, the left wing will still spin this like he took all this time to redact everything and trash the evidence that implicated him, because they can't live with the truth. They have to stay in their own echo chamber where they're toasty, warm, and comfy, cozy, because it's all part of their fiber that they've created as part of their persona.
Yeah, the one thing they need to really follow through on is keep Pam Bondi away from a microphone, please. She is terrible. She was talking about this today, and it's just like, we're going to follow new. I'm like, oh my God, she still doesn't know how to do it right.
Yeah.
They need a better spokesperson. And Kash Patel was scaring me. I don't know if you saw these clips.
With his 12 cups of coffee eyes?
Yeah, just standing there like, oh my God, what is wrong with him? Why is he standing there? Exactly, Paul. I'm befuddled, and I don't even know how to spell that word, but I'm befuddled about what I'm seeing from these two.
Harry Oates just sent me an important text.
Oh,
Larry Summers leaving Harvard job amid increased backlash over Epstein files.
Are you serious? Was that the one that just came?
What a scoop.
Here's another one from Harry. Donald Trump gets reelected as president of the United States.
For the first term.
So who's going to go see David in the movie theaters from our friends over at Angel Studios? I got a family trip to see this highly anticipated Angel film. It's
What's it about?
cartoon. Some guy named David, and he fights a giant.
I saw that a few months ago in the studio.
Lead Man 4 in the Rumble rant. I'm going to go see the Dice Man next month.
Oh, really?
The Dice Man.
He was talking about Andrew Dice Clay having a funny bit about a Muslim cabbie.
We got a YouTube super chat from Child of the King. Thank you, Child of the King. $17 coming in hot. Paul Nolan, don't worry, Trump is clean. How do I know, you ask? The last 4 years proves it. If they had anything, they would have used it. Love you, fellas. Well, that rhymed, too. Very nice. Thank you, Child of the King.
Yes, JBSX in the Rumble ramp is also befuddled. See, it's spreading.
I got to be honest with you. I'm not remotely worried that Trump's on that list. If he was, we would have known about it a long time ago.
That would have been
this
out
whole
years ago.
This wrench in the globalist gears would have been stopped a long, long time ago.
Done laugh at my groin. Also befuddled. And I think they're spelling it correctly.
Are they flabbergasted and perplexed?
No, they're befuddled.
No, they're befuddled.
Ann Pavlok. Ann Pavlok in the YouTubes is befuddled.
You'll probably text me in 20 minutes saying you're befuddled. Very Harry-like.
Still only 1,200 votes. Really slowed down.
Wow.
I think you should have put my thumbnail.
Guess you guys are not going to get the poll you want tomorrow night.
You guys came out of the gate hot, and that was it.
Not even close.
Oh, boy. Whoopsie.
Drake 99 thinks it's a little spicy. Spicy. Bizza 12 is a newbie in the Rumble ramp. Welcome.
Low hat. That's a typo.
All right, Slick, we'll do D3, D4, D5 here.
Bernie Kosar, Olympic snowboarder, and national
Keep 'em
anthem
moving.
fashion.
Yeah. Give me the highlight.
Okay. You don't want to know what high school he played for.
And then Delgado will do
Here's the deal. If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Hour 2, Wednesday, November 19th, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Wednesday night all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio. Glad you're in, everybody. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's doing news. Paul Nolan's doing some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Harry on the highways in the building somewhere doing something.
Well, no, he's feeding us breaking news. Yes.
Sending breaking news from 3 months ago. The LFS6B Delgado poll to answer question of the night is still available on our X, LFS6B, at LFS6B. 4 choices. The 2028 Democratic presidential nominee will be blank. Choice A is Michelle. Choice B is Booty Juice. Choice C is Newsom. Choice D is Cackling Kamala. Right now, Governor Newsom is in the lead far and away at 82%, being the public choice.
82%.
Oh, he's my boy.
For the 2028 Democrat. Do we have that picture from last night, Aaron, that I put in the... Michelle is at 4%, and then Booty Juice and Kamala are... Booty Juice is now officially in second at 8%. Cackling Kamala is at 6%. So if you want to get your voice...
Big Mike, let's go.
She's increased,
let's get behind Big Mike.
Cackler's at 8. She's not doing bad. She used to be 2%.
You want to get your voice heard, go over there and vote. There are a lot of comments as well. I have not looked at the comments to see. None of them. Joe K says they might run Nick Fuentes on the Democrat ticket. Yeah, maybe.
Is Cackling Kamala still at 1% like she was in Iowa?
6%.
No, I just said she's at 6%. I voted for Newsom, but I think Moore or AOC, depending on the economy. Okay.
Well,
Wes Moore is also a good choice.
AOC is going to be busy trying to unseat what's his name?
Yeah, look, there's one poll dancer himself with the future president, maybe, according to this poll right now.
There you go.
God, let's hope not.
Oh my God.
Man, you look like his boy toy.
Was that after dinner, Delgado? What was that?
It was actually.
Yeah, is this the two-man ping pony club?
Right?
No, this was coming out of an Indian restaurant. He was coming out of an Indian restaurant in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
And where what were you doing?
He was in his teepee.
I was going to get my hamburger.
And you just said, "Hey, Gavin."
Well, I saw a bunch of people come running out. They're like, "Oh, he's coming out." I'm like, "Who's coming out?" They're like, "The mayor." I'm like, "Who?" I didn't know he was the mayor.
Mayor McCheese.
So I was like, "All right, I'll take a picture with you." What the hell?
Okay. Well, look at that.
This was 2000 what? 2006? 2007? Something like that.
Well, I don't know. You have to tell me. But
I don't know.
Okay, there you go.
You look young there, Delgado.
I got my Yankee hat on.
Well,
still representing in San Francisco.
According to our poll, you are standing with maybe a future president. So
it could be.
Wow.
God hope not.
We got to get that picture out about him. He'll lose some points for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do some sports. 3 minutes back. Well, is Riley Gaines still talking? Let's listen to a little bit of what she's talking about now.
Yeah, speaking of sports,
super excited to see this. When we pulled up in the parking lot to see the line, whose truck was that out there with like the super cool banner that rocked? So very grateful for you guys. And to the Turning Point chapter, if you're here and you're not involved with this university's Turning Point chapter, I would highly, highly, highly recommend the things that they're meeting about, talking about, all really, really critical, not just to the time period that we're living in now, but topics that will translate far beyond your time in college. So would highly recommend you guys getting involved at this chapter. I know there are some other chapters who are present from surrounding schools in the area. So highly, highly recommend.
It looks like we're in question and answer time, maybe. All right, well, they're starting Q&A, Aaron. We'll dip back in if you hear anything that's worth, well, it looks like, okay, they're lining up maybe to ask questions. So, all right, we'll dip back in a little bit. 5 minutes past the hour. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you want to shop at MyPillow. What's going on, Slick?
All right, Big D. Well, Browns legend Bernie Kosar, we were talking about him earlier in the week, and well, he's feeling good after a liver transplant. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. Cleveland Browns legend Bernie Kosar told fans that he is feeling good after receiving a new liver on Monday. Just last week, Kosar told fans that he had undergone several aggressive procedures to stop internal bleeding as he awaited the transplant list due to his diagnosis of cirrhosis of the liver. If we could roll cut one there and have Bernie tell us what happened.
Hey, I'm out and I'm feeling good. It's ready to enjoy the rest of the week and the rest of our lives. You matter.
Good stuff for Bernie. Good to hear that he got his liver transplant. Waited almost a little over a year, in fact. And, well, obviously he had a great career with the University of Miami. And, of course, the Cleveland Browns. He's well-loved in the state of Ohio. And he even had a cup of coffee with the Dallas Cowboys and picking up a Super Bowl ring in 1993. So that was good news for Bernie to hear that. And, well, this guy who Kash Patel is calling a modern-day El Chapo, fugitive Olympic snowboarder, faces new accusations as feds raise reward for his capture to $15 million. Boy, I'm going to get into bounty hunting. Ryan Gayos of Fox News here. Former Canadian Olympic snowboarder.
He's already got the boots.
Ryan Wedding was slapped with 2 additional counts of witness tampering, intimidation, murder, money laundering, and drug trafficking, and federal officials raised the reward for his capture to $15 million on Wednesday. Wedding, 44, and 14 other alleged associates were accused of orchestrating the January 2025 murder of a witness who was shot and killed at a restaurant in Colombia. Officials said Wedding placed a bounty on the victim's head, thinking their death would lead to the dismissal of charges against him and the drug trafficking ring he is allegedly ahead of. Wedding is on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitive list and is described as an extremely violent criminal believed to be responsible for the murder of numerous people. He was on the Canadian Olympic team, Big D, back in the 2002 Olympics in Salt Lake City. He finished 24th place, so he wasn't exactly a superstar, but hey, to make it into the Olympics is amazing. So they, and Kash Patel said he is a modern day El Chapo. So obviously concerns there. 15 million, boy, that's a hell of a bounty on that kid's head. And last but not least, if I got to get one more in, if I may, national anthem singer criticized over stripper look, says the NFL approved her outfit. Now remember that video I ran on Monday night with that young lady who was singing off key? Yeah, she was no Francis Scott Key for sure. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart, American singer Karina Pazian earned, I never heard of her either. Erin didn't even hear of her. Earned mixed reviews of her rendition of the national anthem ahead of the Commanders-Dolphins game in Spain on Sunday. Well, her garb was apparently approved by the NFL, she is saying, and they approved my outfit a few days before. And, I'm sorry if anyone felt offended by it, but it wasn't my intention. My intention was to have a good time. I loved my outfit, she said. And Pazian also posted a behind-the-scenes video showing her stylist helping her prepare for a moment. They had to help her prepare with that outfit. That outfit was horrendous. So anyway, Big D, that's a wrap in sports. I know you are not engaged with this woman here, but, as far as the story goes.
Well, I'm way more offended by the notes she sang than the outfit she wore.
Yeah. That was a terrible rendition. I've no Whitney Houston.
Is anyone whatever.
Yeah, but still, when it comes
I've
to
seen way worse.
When it comes to the clothes, she really should listen to this guy right here. He knows what he's talking about.
I could have dressed her up nice. I could have made her into a football fashionista.
Yeah.
But yeah, and by the way, it was 9:30 in the morning when that national anthem went on too. That game was the NFL game in Europe there, and was it Madrid, Spain, where the Miami Dolphins won there on a field goal in overtime. That's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6P is the promo code to use. Well, diaper diplomacy, we were just talking about this guy, FCC chairman Brendan Carr. Delgado, what's the story here?
Yeah, it turns out, and it's funny, too, because while I was watching, that's the first thing I thought of was the FCC chairman. He's launching a probe now into the BBC for intentionally distorting President Trump's speech. We talked about this the other day. We played the clips. You've probably seen them yourself on social media. But the FCC chairman is now announcing, he sent a letter to the executives of BBC, NPR and PBS announcing that the agency is launching an investigation into the British public broadcaster's misleading edits of President Donald Trump's speech on January 6th. Carr wrote the letter to Tim Davie, the Director General at BBC, Catherine Mailer at NPR, she's the CEO, and Paula Kerger, the President and CEO of PBS, after the BBC was caught intentionally distorting the speech from January of 2021. The chairman included the PBS and NPR in the investigatory letter because the two outlets distribute BBC programming in the United States, and I guess they can also be held accountable as well. Carr said the BBC spliced together one portion of the speech with an entirely separate portion of the speech that came 54 minutes later, with the intention, of course, of making it seem like it was all just one statement, trying to paint the narrative that we've all seen before, and now it's been debunked that Trump was saying, go there and fight, fight, fight. And now the BBC is under investigation, but this isn't the first time it's happened to the British Broadcasting Corporation. As a matter of fact, cut number 4, here's a report of the BBC busted for lying about another documentary, this one on Hamas. This is cut 4. Check this out.
The UK media regulator Ofcom has ruled that the BBC committed a serious breach of broadcasting rules by failing to disclose that the narrator of a documentary about Gaza was the son of a Hamas official. An Ofcom investigation into Gaza, How to Survive a War Zone, has concluded that the programme misled viewers. The watchdog says our investigation found that the programme's failure to disclose that the narrator's father held a position in the Hamas-run administration was materially misleading. The BBC's Director General has previously apologised, saying that there had been a significant failing in relation to accuracy.
Yeah, accuracy, and he's apologising because, well, they got caught. And this is how it always is with these people. They only apologize when they get busted.
Well, this is part of the big thing I watched today with Mike Benz. This started with a program called the Marshall Plan of the Mind. It was a BBC program that was done through the CIA. This is the CIA completely obfuscated and its agenda through the BBC, and then they created hundreds of NGOs that surrounded it. They would create stories, and they would usually use their statecraft to weaponize media to change the way people thought and looked at the entire world after the post-Cold War America that started in 1990. And it's pretty crazy. It spun off into like 14 or 15 different programs. And, one of the things that's so crazy is its influence is it's really mind-boggling how it lines up with almost every major corporation. You see advertising on a Sunday between the Ford Foundation, between, any big tech company, from Apple to, Salesforce.com. They're all loaded with their DEI programs, and it's all part of the agenda, which is truly astounding to only support really what BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard are all kind of colluded to run. It's a fascinating and diabolical sorcery. I just don't know how to put it any other way.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 13 past the hour. More news. We'll get more into that with Mike Benz's video with Paul Nolan coming up. We'll do some more sports. Live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday. We're back right after this. All right, chat. What's going on in the chat? 1,319 votes, 1,319 votes on the LFS6B Delgado poll to answer question of the night. 2028 Democratic presidential nominee will be. You've got 4 choices. If you haven't partaken yet, go over to x.com/LFS6B. If you're on X, at LFS6B, make sure you give us a follow and vote in the poll. Boy, I thought we were going to scream past 2,000 votes.
Especially out of the gate.
We may not even make it.
Several hundred in the first
Racing Banshee on X, hello?
Say hello to the YouTubes. In the YouTubes.
Yeah, we got the usual folks in the YouTubes. We got Trina B, Brian Belford, Ank, we got Moon Pie, of course, Cats B, Joe Schmo coming in.
Joe Schmo.
Yeah, Bowser Roadkill, Bowser from Shanana, Child of the King, of course. The great Les Durham.
Vivian from Michigan, hello on X.
Bill Moore is coming to visit us. He's bringing us goodies. Bill Moore in the YouTube on Friday night. He's coming to see us Friday night. Big D at the warehouse.
And where's he coming from? Virginia?
I want to say Maryland. If I recollect correctly. Bill, please put that in the chat. Let us know. I believe it's
when
Maryland.
you say goodies, I think he means bourbon.
I think he's bringing us some kind of eatery stuff. I'm not sure though. Let's see.
Gloria Powers, Tumbleweed Farmer.
Oh, the CMAs are on tonight. Why didn't I have that on?
Oh yeah,
Patrick Owen Ahern, all in the
because they went woke?
in the Twix chat.
No,
they're not as bad as the AMAs and all that.
Oh, they were during COVID. They were so woke.
Paul, stop.
It's an award show. It doesn't matter anyway.
Don't be
self-congratulatory
on my country.
Yeah, they just like to glad hand each other.
You're so great. No, you're so great.
What? Exactly. That's all it is.
Where is it? What channel is it on? CBS?
It's like they don't hear it enough from their fans. They have to tell each other. No, you're great. No, you're great.
I can see you, Delgado, up there with a hat, country star, loving all that every minute.
Oh,
of
that's
that.
my girl, Lainey Wilson. Come on,
Oh,
girl.
she's a good singer. You see,
Trump Media just signed a massive $6.4 billion deal with Yorkville Acquisition Corp and Crypto.com, the crypto platform trusted by millions of users worldwide. They're teaming up to acquire up to $6.4 billion in Kronos, symbol CRO, to establish America's first publicly traded CRO treasury, Trump Media Group's CRO strategy. Once complete, this new company will be the largest publicly traded CRO holder out there. Ready to join the crypto revolution? Well, head over to Crypto.com today and be part of this historic move. That's Crypto.com. Don't wait. For information on the proposed business combination, check out Yorkville Acquisition Corp's public filings. All right, live from Studio 6B, 17 past the hour on a Wednesday night. Real America's Voice, 103.9 LI News Radio. If you haven't partaken yet in the LFS6B Delgado poll dancer question of the night, it's over on our X. You can head over there onto our X at LFS6B and vote in that. Now, there is some other news tonight, which we probably don't have in our rundown of news, because it literally just broke not too long ago. Did you see the report on this Democrat lawmaker who the Justice Department now filed charges on?
No. Who's this?
Some Democrat, I believe, on the, of course, I can't find it now. I think she's out of, here it is. Breaking, DOJ charges Congresswoman Sheila Sherflewis McCormick, Democrat from Florida, with stealing $5 million in FEMA funds.
Whoa.
Laundering the proceeds and then using the money to support her 2021 congressional campaign. According to the indictment, the DOJ says Sherflewis McCormick, 46, and her brother Edwin Sherflewis, 51, both of Miramar, Florida, worked through their family health care company on a FEMA-funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract in 2021. In July 2021, the company received an overpayment of $5 million in FEMA funds. The indictment alleges that the defendants conspired to steal that $5 million, routed it through multiple accounts to disguise its source. Prosecutors allege that a substantial portion of the misappropriated funds were used as candidate contributions to Sherflewis McCormick's 21 congressional campaign and for personal benefit of the defendants. The indictment further alleges that Sherflewis McCormick and Najee LeBlanc, 46, of Miramar, arranged additional contributions using straw donors, funneling other monies from the FEMA-funded COVID-19 contract to friends and relatives who then donated to the campaign as if it was using their own money.
Wow.
Oh.
The indictment also charges Sherflewis McCormick and her 2021 tax preparer, David Spencer, 41, of Davie, with conspiring to file a false federal tax return. According to the indictment, they falsely claimed political spending and other personal expenses as business deductions and inflated charitable contributions in order to reduce her tax obligations. This is breaking tonight. And Congressman Greg Steube says tomorrow morning he's going to be filing a privilege motion to censure and remove her from all of her committees. He said this is one of the most egregious abuses of public trust I've ever seen. Stealing $5 million in taxpayer disaster funds from FEMA, of all places, is beyond indefensible. Millions of Floridians have relied on FEMA after devastating hurricanes, and that money was supposed to help real disaster victims. Once the House Ethics concludes their investigation, she is formally convicted. Rest assured, I'll move to expel her from Congress as well.
Yeah, she'll still keep her job. You know why? Because there's no spine in the Republicans in the House. They won't censure her. Because the Democrats will be like, no, you're not going to do that. And they're going to fall in line because they never do anything. All these criminals just take care of each other and make sure they keep their job. And hopefully, they just hope people forget about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Sherflewis sure fooled us.
What we see with Plaskett, they wouldn't vote to censure Plaskett. She was after he was a convicted pedophile. She was his best friend, not before. She was taking advice from him during a hearing, not taking a call from a constituent. She didn't know who the players were, and he was filling in the blanks. He was directing this. I think you're right when you mentioned, I think it was you, Damon, who mentioned, who knew that Jeffrey Epstein controlled Washington like this? I guess we're seeing it.
Oh, my God, man. This is...
Right? You saw it with Plaskett. Who else is on his speed dial?
Like I said, this is a global thing. This is not just the states. The states are just the best target of all the targets. You take down America, you got the world. And that's what this is about. This is the game they play. This isn't just about America. I mean, but you get these politicians on every level, it's over. Democracy ends here, it ends everywhere.
It's not even so much that. It's the egregious nature of these criminals. Just the balls to say, you know what, I'm going to use this $5 million that I just stole.
Overpayment.
Yeah.
They're above the law.
She wasn't even in Congress yet. That's how effed up this is that she wasn't even one of them yet, and now that she is, they'll protect her.
People don't. Listen.
That's the crazy part.
We talked about this was like that magical key to the entire code of blackmail throughout the whole world, and all the banking elite and the corporate elite. This was that like the magical Rubicon to break it open. Let's hope this is the beginning of it, because it's bad. It's just so bad. Everything was good.
Let's do some more news. Delgado's got some NASA. We haven't talked about NASA.
Oh, NASA. Oh, my goodness.
Is this a UFO story?
No, it's not, unfortunately.
Oh.
This is more down-to-earth stuff, but it involves...
down-to-earth. Here we go.
It involves NASA, though, Damon, as a NASA astronaut's wife who said she was a victim of the first crime committed in space.
What?
First crime committed in space, that's the headline from the Daily Mail, says she made it all up. Yeah, believe it or not. A woman has pleaded guilty to fabricating that her estranged astronaut wife. Wait, what? Yes, you heard that right. Lesbians in space. Illegally accessed her bank account from space. Summer Warden, 50, faces up to 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000 after she lied to federal agents and claimed to be the first victim of a crime committed beyond Earth.
Wasn't Spaceballs.
There were none. The former Air Force intelligence officer has been through a year of legal disputes with her ex-wife, Ann McClain, NASA astronaut and Iraq war veteran. She had falsely claimed that McClain, while on the International Space Station, had guessed her password and accessed her bank account in January of that year, according to the Southern District of Texas U.S. Attorney's Office. You can't make this stuff up. Warden pleaded guilty to 2 counts of lying to law enforcement, and the damning accusation sparked an investigation from the FTC and the NASA Inspector General. Who knew NASA had an Inspector General? So there you have it.
She looks like Buddy Revell from 3 O'Clock High.
Which one?
Which one?
So Ann McClain has admitted that she lied, and now she's being held to account. Which is, I mean, let's face it. When it comes to, face it. I don't care who you are. If you're gonna get a divorce, just get the divorce. Make it clean. End it. Go your happy way. Go be happy somewhere else. The fact that she's an adult and does crappy stuff like this, it's just like, come on, stop.
It's pathetic.
And you're an astronaut. You're in space. You're doing spacewalks. I don't know. What do you think, Dan?
There's definitely there's a pun in there for.
He's going to create this whole story. That's what he thinks.
I'm waiting for Slick Rick to make an astronaut joke.
I'm leaving it there. Oh man, that was good.
What do I think?
There were no astronauts.
Did you even listen to that story?
No, 25 past the hour. What'd you say?
He's totally
25 past
Damon
the hour.
glaze over the second you said NASA.
He tunes us out.
Slow news day. All right, we're back right after this.
He was in a different universe.
Wasn't Spaceballs.
Wasn't Spaceballs. It was perfect.
Harry's breaking news.
Have some like
Harry's breaking news. We landed on the moon.
Harry, no, government shutdown due to COVID.
What happened to this guy's hair? Why did he cut his? He doesn't have a sideburn.
Looks like a rug.
That looks horrible.
That looks like a bad rug on a 50-year-old man. I know it's not, but it looks like a bad rug.
It's just a bad decision.
Right. It looks like he did everything he could to avoid a mullet.
And he went with the bowl instead. Yeesh.
What's a packed house, Big D, huh? Where is this down? Where's it? Nashville? It's got to be Nashville, right? Or is this out in L.A.?
No, it's in Nashville.
I've never been to Nashville. I got to get down there. Everybody says it's a good time.
Yeah, Damon says he's going to take us. He won't. He'll take us when we go to the Sphere. Make a stop in Nashville. I would go to Flobama. I know.
Come on.
Oh, my boys from Old Dominion. Come on.
That's a nice guitar. He gets some good sounds out of that baby.
What are they doing? I Miss You, Man? I love this song. Oh, no. Oh, that's over. Why are they doing old songs, man? New stuff.
What the folks want to hear, Big G? Come on.
They're taking them back in time, man.
They're pandering to the audience. I love when an artist goes up and does like an obscure thing. And it's awesome when they do it. Hey, Adam Sandler. Yeah, right. Looks like Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler wished he looked like that.
Is this a medley or they're just doing Break Up with him? Yeah, it's got to be a medley.
Oh, medleys. Where is this? What venue?
Oh.
Who's that?
This is the Bridgestone Arena.
Oh, Bridgestone Arena.
What's the name of the band? Bridgestone? What?
No, they're in the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. It's Old Dominion. Maybe my favorite band.
Really?
What, Bridgestone Arena?
Old Dominion, yeah.
Old Dominion?
Yeah.
I thought you said Bridgestone Arena.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, November 19th. Slicks doing sports. Delgado and Paul Nolan doing the news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always on a Wednesday. Real America's Voice, 103.9 LI News Radio. Please welcome back to the show, precious metal specialist from Birch Gold, our friend Philip Patrick. Mr. Patrick, how are you?
Doing well, guys. How are you?
Very good. Always good to have you on. Thanks for a few moments. A lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff going on. Boy, the president just hammered the Fed chairman today in this speech. I mean, he just massacred him in this speech today about getting rid of him. And then he went after Scott Bessent, too, which was actually pretty funny. But let's talk about some things. Unemployment data has been very confusing lately. We were supposed to, I think, get some today. Then they said, no, we're not printing it today. What's going on here, in your opinion?
Look, I think what we're seeing or starting to see, and the data's creeping out, we had third-party data, so we're getting a sense. I think what we're seeing is a slowdown in disguise. The headline unemployment rate's 4.3%, which is near historic lows. But I think the real story is the quality of the jobs that people are chasing. Bloomberg has reported a surge of applicants for roles people normally avoid: substitute teaching, warehouse work, road crews, that sort of stuff. It's a concerning sign, I think, of workers now losing leverage, not gaining it. Overall, we've shifted into this sort of low hire, low fire posture, not expanding, but not laying off either. It's basically economic stagnation in slow motion. People are anxious about keeping their jobs. Nearly half of Americans say it would take 4 months or more to find a comparable job if they were laid off today. And they're probably not wrong. The unemployed are staying unemployed for much longer in this climate. So in summary, it's looking like a tight, cautious, risk-averse job market that's quietly slowing, I think.
There's a lot of polls out. Of course, whether you believe the polls is a separate question and a separate story for another day. But there's a lot of polls out showing President Trump's numbers, some of them not good as far as what the country's feeling out there. And when you look at people being so anxious, even people who are working, is that all about just pay, keeping up with prices? The White House argues every day the prices are down, but I keep saying that I don't think people feel that when they go to the grocery store, when they go fill up their car, when they heat their house. What say you?
Listen, I think Trump's doing a good job for sure, but he inherited a tough position, and I think Americans are feeling it. I think the word to use is momentum. Wage growth has all but evaporated for the bottom 60% of workers. I think it's a reflection of what economists are calling a K-shaped economy. High earners get regular raises and keep up with the cost of living. Working class Americans are seeing the weakest wage gains in decades. People aren't job hopping anymore because there's nothing better to hop to. And when you remove that mobility, workers start to lose bargaining power, and employers know it, and they're not shy about using it. As you implied, the cost of living compounds the problem. Grocery prices, utility, insurance, they're all still rising faster than wages for most families. It's very similar to what I saw in the UK at the turn of the century in the early 2000s. It was a stagnant labor market, rising living costs, and a widening gap between the wealthy and everybody else. So I think that's why some people are not feeling the recovery when others are, and it's creating this confusion.
When the, I don't know if it came from Fed Chairman Powell or if it came from the BLS, I don't remember who it was, but when they announced today, I think it was today, they said we're not going to be printing the jobs numbers for the second month in a row. I saw the odds of a cut in December go way down. So in your estimation, do you think the Fed is likely to still cut in December? And if he does, is that a good thing?
December's a tough one, and it depends. I think when the numbers come out, we'll have a bit more clarity. I would say long term, they have no choice but to cut. And I don't think that's necessarily a positive sign. Rate cuts should really happen when an economy is stalled or shrinking. Today, we have historically low unemployment. We have positive economic growth, which tells us if we do get cuts, they're a defensive move to try and preempt recession. I think the reality is long-term, the Fed's boxed in. Wage growth is softening. Wage power is collapsing. Consumer spending is rolling over, yet inflation's still above the target. If they cut now, it's not because the economy is booming. It's because it's vulnerable. And I think investors ultimately will interpret that for what it is. It's a sign of economic weakness, not strength. I think a lot of this is being driven by debt and debt service. And I think ultimately we just cannot function in a high interest rate climate. It's not really the Fed's job to focus on that, but I think they're going to have to long term.
Well, and that's kind of the thing, like you just said, because, I mean, I'm no cheerleader for the Fed, and I hear President Trump today just wailing on him, and it's comedic value to it. But obviously the Fed's in a little tougher position than the president, who just wants to get rid of him and say, because he just wants rates cut. And the Fed, because the Treasury Secretary and President Trump are looking at the cost of the debt and saying, this is costing us hundreds of billions of dollars. Every time you lower the rate a little bit, it saves us. But the Fed can't really look at it that way, right? I mean, he has to walk a little finer line in all of these decisions.
It's technically not their job, right? They need to focus on maximum employment and price stability. Based on that, there's not really an argument to cut rates, like I said, but I think we're sort of heading into an era of fiscal policy where ultimately debt is driving Federal Reserve policy. And I think they have to, right? Interest costs on the national debt are over $1 trillion a year. That's more than we spend on defense, which is an absurdity. We got to remember the Fed's borrowing $25 to $30 billion every single day just to keep the lights on. But the real concern is this. The last 5 times the Fed has lowered rates, starting at the beginning of last year, the federal government's borrowing costs have gone up, not down. That typically doesn't happen, but it indicates, I think, investors are not excited anymore about extending loans to the Treasury. And you can see their point, right? Today, the government of the world's biggest economy is running on a credit card with no repayment plan. And I think we're just like, for 100 years, we've been viewed as the lowest risk borrower on the planet. We've been able to borrow cheap and amass debt. But we're not looking like that anymore. Bond vigilantes are commanding higher interest rates to service our debt. That's going to be a problem.
We're speaking with Philip Patrick from Birch Gold. You can text America to 989898 and get started and find out if gold is right for you. Text America to 989898. Listen, all of these structural problems, everything we're talking about, none of it's going to get solved overnight, even if the Fed was to Fed Chair Powell was to disappear tomorrow night and President Trump was to put whoever he wants to put in there. So having said that, what's the case right now? Obviously, gold has had an extraordinary run. What is the case for gold today?
Look, like you, I think I believe in President Trump's growth agenda, but as you sort of implied, he's fighting a system that has been deteriorating for decades. No one can undo 20 years of overspending, offshoring, debt accumulation in one term. That means, I think, family needs a strategy that doesn't depend on Congress passing a budget, the Fed sticking the landing, global creditors staying patient, and a debt machine miraculously slowing down. And I think the prudent move is diversification, especially into assets outside of the political and banking system. And we can see what's happening with precious metals. Gold is up over 60% for the year. Silver's up over 80%. They don't do that normally. That is a reflection of structural changes happening. It's a reflection of a lack of options. Look at the haircut we saw on crypto, 30% in the last 2 months. That's the riskiest area of this sector of the economy, right? But it's a reflection, I think it's the canary in the coal mine of, a reflection of tougher things to come. But the problem is, traditionally, we see a shift towards safe haven assets, cash, government debt. The problem is they aren't safe anymore. And I think gold's going to pick up a lot of that safe haven demand and keep going up. So I think everybody has to have some diversification. Everybody has to have a hedge. And in this climate, for these problems, I think precious metals, gold and silver are the best hedge.
And if you're looking to diversify and you want to see if it's right for you, text America to 989898 right now, and you'll get started with free information kit. Text America to 989898, our friends from Birch Gold. Philip Patrick, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you. Cheers,
all right, 39 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, November 19th. Always good stuff with Philip Patrick. He's absolutely right about a lot going on. President Trump today just waylaying.
I would love to pick his brain for like an hour.
Waylaying on Fed Chair Powell today. I mean,
holy.
Just wait. He told Scott Bessent today at one point, he said, Scott, I'm going to fire you if you don't get rid of this guy. And then he said, well, no.
He's on notice.
Yeah, he put him on notice a little bit. And then he said, well, maybe I'm just kind of half kidding because we're lucky to have Scott. But, man, he just waylaid on Powell. But I'm no cheerleader for Powell at all. I think he's, for the most part, been semi-clueless. But I think he does have a little tougher of a – I think the decisions are a little tougher than the president would lead us to believe. But I also get where the president's coming from. He just wants to cut rates because, again, the debt service is just extraordinary.
Yeah, well, if they're playing a game of musical chairs, it's down to one chair. There's nothing left at the Fed. I mean, we're watching the end of a dying system. So thankfully, you get rid of Powell, what are you going to have? Somebody else running the Fed. At the end of the day, the common denominator is the problem. Fed's still there.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, when you say dying system, I don't know about I think we'd like to think of it that way, but I don't know about that. President Trump, I think, is President Trump is pretty secure in the dollar and the Fed, quite frankly. I think he doesn't like the man. I don't think he's all that upset about the institution.
Yeah, I disagree. I think he knows that the root of all these problems come from this unelected monolithic structure. That I don't know, man. I think he knows that that's the root of the evil and the root of the demise of this country. So I think he knows how to play the bankers game, and I think the pain that comes with kind of taking the claws and the fangs out of the Fed it's what we're seeing now on the lower end of the, of the economic totem pole. Like lower middle class and middle class people are taking a beating. And I think it's all the end result of a really bad system for going on way too long.
You want to talk about your video, Paul?
There's a minute left in the segment, so if you, to me, it's again about the power and control of the entire, intelligentsia. All of these three-letter agencies have the ability to shape, mold, and collude power and finance, and could bring a nation to its knees through regulations. They say that, coal is cheap to get and it does a nice job fueling, but there's no real profit in it. So we're going to pretend it kills the planet, and we're going to write legislation and regulation that makes it so you can't get it or raises the price on it, while they sell you some green new energy scam that, they have it fully aligned in all of their portfolios. And, it's BS. We know it doesn't work.
All right, let's hit the break. We'll get back, do a little more on that, do a little news, sports, wrap it up for a Wednesday night right after this, live from Studio 6B.
Someday, son.
Did you just drop a Havana omelet on Slick Rick?
Ooga.
Whoosh the cabetta. My eyes are burning.
Bean burritos. Oh, man. I haven't been in the YouTubes in a minute. YouTubes.
Yes, chat, live in the chats.
What do we have?
Who in the world is Cat?
Ed the Great on Rumble, 6B. Back in Ohio, it's $2.99. Fortunately, Sheetz, I love the Sheetz, started a gas war because they built a new location. They try to compete with Sam's at $2.49 a gallon. I like gas wars.
Damn,
Slick though, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we were talking gas prices over in the Rumble chat for a bit.
It's $2.75 over
I love
here.
the Sheetz. I don't know about their gas, but I love their coffee.
Some places are noticing a pre-holiday a bump already.
We need a Sheetz around here.
You don't really give a shit.
No one really gives a sheet. That's the problem.
Sheet cake. You're killing me over here. He's killing
Talk
me.
about gas problems. Are you kidding me?
Talk about gas wars, yeah. Delgado's having one with Slick.
Delgado's pumping it out like it's 2 cents a gallon.
Well, I'm getting gaslighted over here. Literally.
Dude, your suit's on fire.
Pull my finger.
Sheets is the shits you need at Buc-ee's.
Oh, boy.
What?
Who is this?
Your girl Lainey Wilson picked up a CMA. You see that?
That's Shabuzi.
Oh, Shabuzi,
Oh,
yeah.
he's a disaster.
He stinks.
What's the big Shabuzi deal?
Aaron's yelling. Aaron likes him.
He had the one.
You like
he had the one
Shabuzi?
song.
Is that Jeffrey Dahmer? Who's that?
Who's he with? Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, exactly.
Dahmer.
Exactly. He looks like he's with Jeffrey Dahmer. What's
He's
going on
Jeffrey
here?
Dahmer and
Yeah, that or
he's like the Fugees.
Neil Young's test tube baby.
Yeah.
Oh, God forbid.
What is this? How much time do we have? 40 seconds. Let's hear this.
Pittsville, Maryland. That's where Bill Moore's coming from, Paul. Pittsville, Maryland. He's bringing apple uglies,
Not bad.
which are like bad.
Happy birthday, Sergeant Arby. It's his birthday in the
Why is
Rumble
he
Rant.
wearing his little sister's jacket? I think it's like a half shirt.
All right, 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B. On a Wednesday night, the Delgado Poll Dancer Poll of the Year, or whatever we called it, is still available. If you haven't voted yet, go to @LFS6B on X, @LFS6B on X. Make sure you, number one, give us a follow, and then vote in the poll who the 2028 Democratic presidential nominee will be. There's 4 choices right now. Gavin Newsom, one of Rick Delgado's old buddy friends from back in the day, is in the lead by a country mile. But if you want to have there you go, add your voice to it. You still have time to vote over at @LFS6B. Paul Nolan's got some news, and so tell me about this Mike Benz video that you broke down, and what's so important about it.
So to me, it's a CIA program that's been used globally, and then once it gets busted and exposed, they splinter it into a bunch of different organizations, and it really comes down to like today's propaganda isn't like posters and dictators. It's NGOs, it's fact checkers, it's think tanks, it's developmental charities, it's media foundations, it's corporate platforms, and they're all quietly steering what people think is normal or moral or true, for that matter. And it's dictated by governments. They don't need to brainwash anyone directly anymore. They outsource it to like these philanthropic brands. These independent experts and I guess friendly corporations who profit, and their models are conveniently aligned with the narrative. The public isn't told what to believe. It's like emotionally slugged and nudged and punched in the face. They're socially pressured. The algorithm is constantly guiding them. They're morally guilted into an approved worldview, and it's all based on how the corporate structure is aligned. Like the wars become humanitarian, regulations become safety, green energy becomes salvation, dissent becomes misinformation, and obedience becomes virtue. It's the trick is simple: manufacture a consensus, drown the alternatives in noise, weaponize morality, and then let corporations enforce it. Modern propaganda works because it hides institutions inside of the people's trust, because it feels like their own ideas. It's really how they manipulate you. So when you see the messaging, wars are good, green energy is the future, fossil fuels are bad, peace is naive or dangerous or misguided, regulation is safety, and compliance becomes virtue. So this whole thing is really about how these massive corporations like the BBC will create a narrative, and we called it the wrap-up meal, as America's favorite sweetheart said it. They'll put out the story, and then once that story goes, they have their 25 or 30 corporate aligned business partners who then bring it to you with a different narrative and a different way to say it, and they get you so emotionally disturbed, and that's how they gave and riddled the nation with TDS. They were able to emotionally manipulate everybody, and they could do it to all of us. They could do it to whatever echo chamber we're in. So anytime you feel like you think you have it completely solved, just think again, because you don't. You have to look past the psyops and the noise. And, Rick, you've talked about the psyops a million times here. It is all divide and conquer. It's about never seeing a populist movement anywhere go. You look in Germany, and the alternative for democracy in Germany is blown up. Marine Le Pen, blown up. Any kind of movement, Erdogan, right? Every single person who's got some kind of populist movement gets knocked down, and that's by design, and that's all CIA driven. I hope my car doesn't blow up when I turn it on. That's it.
All right, very good. 9 minutes to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's wrap up a little more sports and news. Look, I'll let you go first. What's left to cover?
Okay, Big D. Well, let's go to the scoreboard real quick. Big matchup at NCAA men's basketball. UConn loses to Arizona. Number 4 Arizona beats UConn in UConn 71-67. That just went final. To the ice we go. NHL Flames 4-2 over the Sabres. 12 to go there in the third. Capitals defeated the Oilers 7-4 earlier tonight. Hurricanes at Wild. That's a 9:30 puck drop. And Bruins and Ducks puck drop at 10 p.m. Let's shoot right over to a quick story, Big D. Toyota CEO goes full MAGA at Japan NASCAR event. This is Paul Boy of Breitbart. Akio Toyoda, CEO of the Japanese car manufacturer Toyota, went full Make America Great Again at a NASCAR event in Japan, donning a red hat and a Trump Vance shirt. Well, I like that one. Toyota donned the pro-Trump garb on Sunday, just 2 days ahead of his company unveiling a $912 million investment in U.S. manufacturing on Tuesday, per Automotive News. With a toothy grin, Make America Great Again hat and Trump Vance t-shirt, Akio Toyoda hosted a star-spangled barbecued All-American NASCAR spectacle at Fuji Speedway in a new charm offensive aimed not only at motorsports fans and diplomats, but possibly also U.S. tariffs. So cool stuff there, Big D. I really like that one there. That's a good story, going full MAGA. And, well, Toyota, what can I tell you? They're spending money in the U.S. That's always a good story. And then we got the U.S. here is monitoring, NFL actually, is supersonic travel ahead of potential European expansion. So Dylan Gwynn at Breitbart, the NFL is reportedly monitoring the possible return of an older aircraft technology as part of its plans to expand the league to Europe. Yeah. According to the Andrew Beaton of the Wall Street Journal, the NFL is quietly monitoring the progress of a Boom Supersonic and other companies exploring supersonic travel for the prospect of placing an NFL team or perhaps an entire division across the Atlantic. Apparently what they want to do is be able to move the teams over a lot quicker using supersonic speedway, going back to the old Concorde days, it looks like. So NFL is looking into that because I guess they do want to expand the league to Europe. I don't know what the big sensation is, other than they do obviously expand their market, but pretty wild stuff.
Because traveling on the G6 isn't comfortable enough or something, or it just takes too long, I guess.
It's not fast enough. They want to get these guys. Typical flight is what, about 3-4 hours for an NFL team?
No, 6.
Not typical flight?
Oh, you mean overseas?
No, for an NFL team in the United States.
Yeah,
so they're going to try to get somewhere comp there. So this way they don't have as much downtime. They don't have to give the team a bye week, and that's pretty wild stuff. So, but they're working on that. We'll keep you updated on that.
All right, Delgado, any last news?
Yeah, I got this. Remember the other day I was talking about that Russian robot we played it?
The Biden bot.
Well, that's not going to kill us, but I found the one that just might do it. This Chinese company's new humanoid robot moved so smoothly, Damon, that they had to cut it open and proved to everybody there wasn't a person hiding inside. It's called XPeng's new humanoid robot called Iron. Check this out. Cut number 5. Watch how this thing walks. Like it's a real human being, almost like it's a female.
Like a supermodel.
Yeah, exactly. Walking across the stage. The Chinese electric manufacturer unveiled the new humanoid robot with such lifelike movements that the company reps felt compelled to slice it open on stage to prove that was actually nobody inside hiding under it, and that this was actually a robot. Let's go to that cutting ceremony. Cut
Hope it's not the same guys who built that bridge there.
Yeah, exactly. Here's cut number 6, where they actually cut open the leg, so you can see, and then, of course, the robot starts walking again. Fortunately, the audience got to see this live and in person. It features a flexible human-like spine, articulated joints, and artificial muscles that allow it to move with a model-like swagger. So that's coming from XPeng's custom artificial intelligence robots that's probably going to kill us all at some point. A reminder real quick, cut 7. Here's what won't be killing us coming out of Russia. We don't have to worry about
or the Biden bot.
Here's a Biden bot. And here he is.
Biden bot.
You can tell this. You know what? There could be somebody inside there.
Oh, yeah.
It could be Joe Biden.
I mean, that is...
Oh, that's it right there. It's a giveaway. Only thing missing was the bicycle.
That is Biden bot right there.
Oh, that was
Biden bot's definitely not going to kill us.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that other one either.
No,
that's not going to kill us.
No, it's got the female design. And,
I know.
And, people are.
No, got it. You don't have to even go out anymore.
You don't have to go out.
Give it laser beams for eyes.
Now, my girl Ella Langley, who's on the CMAs right now, she kills it all the time.
She's yucky.
Come on.
Looks like a young.
As always,
right?
We salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks to everybody on the show. Aaron, Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night. We're back 8 p.m. right here live from Studio 6B.
We do too, but this is the only time of year when everyone on Medicare can call and see if there are plans with additional benefits available in their area.
I already have a Medicare Advantage plan, so these commercials aren't even for me.
Well, Karen, plans may change every year, and the 2026 Medicare Advantage plans are now available. The phone lines are open.
Just call 800-662-2092.
The Medicare annual enrollment period is the only time of year when all Medicare recipients can call and enroll in a new Medicare Advantage plan. This is also the time to call if you want to change plans. This enrollment period is only open for a limited number of weeks.
Do I have to call now for 2026?
2026 plans are available now during the annual enrollment period. Licensed insurance agents are standing by to take your call. Call now and get a free benefits review with no obligation to enroll.
Just call 800-662-2092.
So, I can call and not sign up for a plan?
That's right. We just want to make sure everyone on Medicare gets information about plans with the coverage they want in 2026. You can call to check and see what plans with additional benefits may be available in your area.
I need to get that number one more time.
That number again is
800-662-2092.
Is the call free too?
Yes, the call and benefits review are free with zero obligation to enroll. Call now.
Just call 800-662-2092. That's 800-662-2092.